Hello, ladies, and welcome to Her Business Coffee Talk. If you're ready to scale your business globally, but English might be holding you back, you're in the right place. My name is Nina, and I will be your host today, and I'm really excited to introduce my guest, Milica. Milica, welcome to Coffee Talk.
Thank you, Nina.
So, can you tell us who you are and what your professional journey looks like?
Yes, of course. My name is Milica Mihajlović. I'm a journalism student. I study journalism in Belgrade at the Faculty of Political Sciences. I'm 21 years old and I'm also a freelance journalist. But podcasting actually is my biggest passion. To be more specific, narrative podcast is something I work on.
So you started two very meaningful podcasts. Can you tell us more, like what inspired you to start and what kind of stories do you want to tell?
Yes, I have two narrative podcasts. One is about local media in Serbia, because local journalists here in Serbia are in a very specific situation. They work under very hard conditions, and also they face every day with some threats, economic problems, and so on. So I wanted to present their problems to the public. And my second podcast, Dnevnik jedne mladosti, is about student struggle here in Serbia.
So what does it take to start a podcast? I guess there are some women who are listening to us now and who are thinking about it, but maybe have some kind of doubts or like they don't have enough confidence to do that. So in your own experience, like what does it take to start it and what would be the first steps?
It takes a lot of time, and you really have to be passionate about it. But also you have to trust in yourself and to feel confident, even if something that took you hours and hours to produce is listened by, I don't know, 30 people, because that's what starting something new feels like. And it is really exciting. Sometimes you may feel disappointed because of the numbers, but you really have to deal with it and to understand that it is hard to get the wider public and wider number of listeners, especially when the topic is something that is really specific, like local media. So that's something that I think people should know. But also I have to mention that I have full support of podcast.rs. That's the team I work with, and without them, things would be much harder.
Yeah, support is definitely something everybody needs. But you know, some people much smarter than me, like business mentors and people who know their stuff, they said that if you are specific enough and if you have like only 30 listeners, maybe it's more valuable than having like thousands and thousands if they're just, doing it so that the time passes. So maybe you have like big fans when you have only 30 listeners.
Well, yeah, it's the great thing that you mentioned it, because, for example, there are a lot of local journalists who listen to Glas Lokala, or I would translate it voice of local media. And they are really satisfied with my episodes, and they say that my episodes help them because they can feel the situations I'm describing. So you are right. When you have small number of listeners, you are really connected with them. And that's really, that is your community, actually, not just your public or your listeners.
And how did you start? How did you choose the topics? For example, when I was thinking about the Coffee Talk podcast, but only me, I was thinking like, what am I gonna say? Is it like recording video on Instagram? I'm not sure what to talk about, you know. What do people want to listen? So then I decided to do the interviews because that's something that I really, really enjoy. And for me, and I guess for other women who are listening to us, it's difficult to make that structure. Like, what's topic number one, and then how are you gonna separate it? How are you gonna create this a content plan, let's say, or how do you keep that flow while you're recording?
Well, I started Glas Lokala. Actually, that everything happened really unplanned. As a student, I did one multimedia story about local media, and my professor Marko Nedeljković really liked it. So he actually connected me with the team from podcast.rs, and Glas Lokala, or voice of the local media, is actually their idea. And I was really happy when we were talking about it and when we did some preparation and so on, because local media is something that I'm really interested in, because I'm from the small town from Požarevac, and I volunteered in two local media. So I'm familiar with their everyday struggles. And also, I spent some time working in local press. That is the association of local media here in Serbia. So I already had some connections and some knowledge about the topic. And other podcast, Dnevnik jedne mladosti, about the student struggle here in Serbia and about the student protests, is actually something that I think was really necessary for people in Serbia because of the political situation, and because of everything that students do for the past 8 months. So me and my team from podcast.rs thought that we definitely need to start something about it and to bring some fresh perspective, because I'm a student and a young journalist, and I want to share my feelings and my thoughts in my episodes and not just facts. So it isn't something that is really often in the media nowadays.
Okay, so you created a media of your own and like space where but what can we learn, you know, do you talk about things that happen in Serbia, or about like some students achievements in their fight against the government and corruption? What is it all about?
Yeah, it's about the period in Serbia after the fall of the canopy in Novi Sad. So, for example, one of my episodes, actually my first episode, was a reportage from my faculty at the beginning of the blockade. So, in that episode, I talked with my colleagues, and they shared their feelings, their thoughts, and so on. They talked to me about the things they were scared of, because it is really dangerous to fight the regime here in Serbia. After that, I went to a couple of protests to record them and to make a story. For example, I was in Novi Pazar, and it was the first time for me to go there. And I fell in love with the city and with the people there. So I recorded the protest, but also I told my listeners how I was feeling and what I was thinking at the specific time at the protest.
And that's the way how you can connect more. It's not just about facts, it's not pure journaling. It's more about journaling from your own personal perspective.
Yes, and that's actually the perfect thing about narrative podcasts because that's the format that is perfect for including your own feelings and thoughts and so on. And I don't want to create some new daily media. I want to create something like this that isn't that much common in Serbia, but that people here really need, I would say.
I totally agree, and I support your idea. And when you contacted me, I said that I want to do what I can to support this because I also believe, I truly believe that we need free media. We need a space where we can hear what's really happening, and like people and public, like we deserve that. So thank you once again for your contribution to our society.
Thank you very much.
So, as I can hear, your English is pretty good, and you said you're really young, only 21. Uh,
Yes.
so, how did you learn English? And what were your struggles with English? And how did it help you?
Well, I have to say that I didn't speak English for a while, I think. So I hope that it is understandable. Um, I was always interested in languages. So my favorite subjects in school were English, Serbian, and Italian. And grammar, especially, was something I found really fun actually, and it was like I don't know, some kind of math for me, but in languages, if you can understand me. And I spent a lot of time studying grammar, but also I had struggles when it comes to speaking English. To be honest, uh, when I was in the elementary school, I think, because I was afraid of mistakes. And it took some time for me to understand that I make mistakes when I speak Serbian, for example, which is my native language, and everyone makes mistakes, and it is normal. I think that actually, if people understand you, you are on a good way. So that's the point, actually.
Fear of making mistakes. That's actually why I started Coffee Talk, because almost all of our students, everybody struggles with that. They have that fear of making a mistake. And I see that my mission is to show everybody that making a mistake when speaking a foreign language is not something to be ashamed of. So did you overcome that fear? Like now you knew that you haven't been speaking for a while and you still decided to join me here and business coffee talk with me. Like what didn't stop you? Why did you decide to show up?
Well, I'm not facing that fear for a couple of years now, so I'm not scared of mistakes right now when we're talking. But I overcame that fear because I was really dedicated to learning English. And my teachers empowered me to speak. And for example, especially in high school, I had a really, really good teacher. And she wanted us to speak English, but not just about, for example, articles we read in class or so on. She wanted to hear our feelings, our thoughts about even some political situation, but in English. So we talked with her about everything, but in English. And that was the part of the class that was normal for us. So I think that she is the main reason why I overcame that fear.
Once again, support is truly something that is precious, let's say.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you, Milica. If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be? Like you just starting out, thinking about your podcast, is there anything that you would do differently? And maybe this could be advice for someone who is thinking about starting their own podcast.
Well, I wouldn't do anything differently because I think that mistakes are the biggest lessons. So I would actually say that you have to make mistakes in order to learn something, and that it is completely normal.
I love this advice. It's so good. And yeah, now when I think about my own business, if I didn't make so many mistakes, how could I know where to go, what to do? We wouldn't even be here, probably. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I mean, it is important to make mistakes. Really, you can't be perfect.
And you shouldn't strive to be.
Yes, yes.
Milica, thank you so much for this business coffee talk. And that's it for today, ladies. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Don't be shy. Visit our Instagram, Her Business Coffee Talk, if you want to grow your business and boost your English speaking skills. Until the next episode, let's coffee talk.